Saturday. Happy Saturday. Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. We are waiting for Facebook to do its thing. Facebook is spinning. It takes a little bit. Now the notifications are going out. All right. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. There we are. People are coming in, popping in. Come in here. Come in here. Come in here. Get comfortable. Get your pen and paper, get your pad, kick your feet up, have your nice warm lemon water early in the morning. Get in here, get in here, get in here. I am Hyacinth Henderson, and you are tuned in, tapped into the Hyacinth Henderson Show. And on the Hyacinth Henderson Show, we talk wealth, well-being, and wisdom. So anytime you see me on these internet streets, on any platform, you know that is what we're talking. We are talking wealth, wisdom, and wellness, mine and yours. So get in here. I see my folks popping in here. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Thank you for your commitment to yourself. June is here. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Saturday. She says, I achieved the seemingly impossible. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, you do. We all do. Affirm yourself. Get in here and affirm yourself. Miss Redhead says Saturday blessings. Thank you. Saturday blessings to you as well. Doretha Hall, I am my greatest asset in sending me blessings. Thank you. They are well received. Miss Redhead, I am my greatest assets. Miss Dorothy, hey, Miss Dorothy. Hey, Meg. Hey, Mario. All right. Y'all are in here live and in color on this wonderful Saturday morning. Thank you all so much for being here. I have a fantastic show lined up for you all. So I hope you got your pen and paper ready. And I hope you are prepared to run the tape back. Run the tape back. I say that every week. And what that means is just come back in your own private time, in your quiet time. After the live is over, come back and watch the show. Because sometimes you got to listen to it 2, 3, 4, 10 times, and then you'll hear it differently each time. I recently picked up a book that I had for over 10 years. And so I read the book before. I kind of skimmed it before. It's a reference book. It's Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And I was like, okay, I got this. I know what my blood type is and what I need to do and what I don't need to do. And so I'm good. And so now it's so amazing that 10 years later, I am reading the book and seeing it in a different light. So when I ask you or suggest that you come back and run the tape back, it is because I know that without a doubt, you'll pick up something that you may have missed the first time. Okay. And this is about you and your self-development. It's about me and my self-development as well. I have that book too. Phenomenal book. It is a phenomenal book. Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And yes, 10 years later, as I age and I get older and things like that, I realize like, wow, this is really true. This really makes sense. So, all right. So today's show is titled Changing the Way You Holiday. Changing the Way You Holiday. And so we know we have the holidays coming up. I guess we're entering holiday season now, right? So for me, after August 7th, gotta say everything else is just like fall. It's autumn, but we're in autumn now. We're entering to the holiday season after Halloween, which is about 10 days away, maybe. Yeah, Halloween's about 10 days away. Then we're going to be in Thanksgiving. We're going to be in Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever your holiday is, we're going to be into that season. And it happens very, very quickly. So I wanted to bring this to today's show. So before we get into that, y'all know I like to give you some history and tie it in to get you to thinking, to kind of prime you a little bit for the bomb that I'm about to drop on you all, right? So my clients always tell me, Hyacinth, you choose violence. You choosing violence, and I have to be ready for that. So I'm getting y'all ready for this violence I'm about to choose, okay? From farm to factory, let's talk about the periods of change and revolution. Last week, I spoke about the fact that we are in a changing space right now. We are in a transitioning space, and it would behoove you to recognize that we are in a changing space so that you don't end up at the end of the processional, so that you don't end up left behind, so that you're not the last to know that things are changing. And so when I started thinking about that a little bit more, I said, gosh, when else has there been a period of time when things have changed? So I know that right now we do things the way that we're used to doing them. However, let me backtrack a little bit and remind you that things weren't always this way. So the first revolution was a transition from farm to factory. So we saw people who were in their farming. They were farming, they were growing their food, they were in their yards, in their gardens. That way of life is how humans lived during that time. And then around the 1760s, is a long time ago, around the 1760s, there was a revolution that took place, right? And it lasted a couple years. So as I'm referencing this history, I want you to recognize where you are. And just as I shared last week, you are now currently writing history. Everything that you're doing now is writing history. Okay. So the name of the book is Eat Right for Your Blood Type. Eat Right for Your Blood Type. It really is a phenomenal book. If you are ready to commit to that, you will just it will change your life. Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And so most commonly when you do your blood work, the blood work does not disclose your blood type. So how do you figure out what your blood type is? If you have your records from a long time ago, you can look there, or you can donate blood. When you donate blood, do they still do that? I don't know. I'll be in the house. But if you donate blood, they will need to know what your blood type is, because they'll need to know who you can give blood to, because not all blood types can give blood to. It's a match there. So if you don't know, you need to know your blood type. Find out what your blood type is, and then check out the book. Okay. Eat Right for Your Blood Type. You're welcome. All right. So as I was saying, so in the 1760s, there was a revolution. We went from farm to factory. Things changed, right? So here it was, babies, children, they were used to being home and in the farm and in the yards and helping mama and daddy and grandpa, auntie and uncle and doing that. And then they instantly had to go through this transition to where now they were factory workers. Yes, children were factory workers, right? And so that happened in the 1760s. And then the second revolution that I'm going to reference today is we went from country to town. This is the revolution of science and mass production. And so around this time, this is when factories were built. The 1760s was engines and railroads and things like that. Engines and railroads were taking place. Then when we went from country to town, this was in the early 1900s. This was science showing its head. We're like, oh, let's lean into this science. Let's shift towards mass production. So this is when we got factories and all things like that, right? So now we're taking the children out of the factories, doing it the human way, the analog way, so to speak. And now we need to put y'all children in school. So now we have school. Remember I told y'all it's a relatively newer concept. Now we have school because we need mom and daddy and everybody to be working these factories. And so that was the second. That was from country to town. And then third, we went from analog to digital. Now, can you believe that the digital transition, the digital revolution started around the 1950s? Now, I know when I was in high school, I graduated in 1999. So maybe 1998 is when I took my first computer class in school. Now, before that, my father had purchased the Mac for me and my brother at that time. And I can't remember what year it was, but it was before high school. I think I was in elementary school. He purchased the first Mac, but it still was well after 1950. Why does that matter? If I am sharing with you that the transition from analog to digital started happening around the 1950s, and I recall getting my first computer in elementary school, so that was 1980s, there's a 30-year difference. I didn't take my first computer class until high school around 1998. That's almost a 50-year difference. Things have changed. Things are going to continue to change. The future is already here. It's just not very evenly distributed. Let me say that again. The future is already here. It's just not very evenly distributed. So in 1950, when digital started becoming alive, there were some people who had never heard of a computer yet. So now that we're tying that in, because I titled the show and I said something about changing the way you holiday. So I'm priming you, I'm getting you ready to let you understand that, reminding you that change is normal, change is natural. When we hold on to something, our hands get bloody. Our fists become bloody because we're holding on so tight. And if we want the pain and the blood to stop, we need to just say, you know what? Let me release this. Let me release that, because change is a part of history. Change is a part of the present, and change will be a part of the future. Okay, so now we're in the fourth revolution. Now it's getting real interesting. It's like cyber, physical systems, they're merging. Now you have robots doing humans jobs. Depends on how deep down the rabbit hole you go, about being chips being placed into humans and things like that. But we're into that space. We are in that space. We got genome editing, new forms of artificial intelligence, right? So as I mentioned all this to you, I want you to ask yourself and take assessment. Where am I? Where are you with all this? Because there's some people who are running towards this change, and there's some people like me who are dragging their feet in certain areas, right? So I don't have a smart TV. I don't have an Alexa. Certain things I'm just like, I'm not getting that. But then in certain areas, I do have to upgrade and change. So ask yourself, where are you running towards change? Where are you dragging your feet? Change is constant. And as humans, we are more accepting to change in some areas and less accepting to change in other areas. Own that. Doesn't make you good or bad. Doesn't make it right or wrong. People may tell you stubborn. They may label you and call you all types of names if you refuse to change. Get past the label and ask yourself, where are you? Where are you in this space? Are you running to change? Are you dragging your feet towards change? Let me share where change, another area I see change, and it's a pleasant change for me, right? Although it's me 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So generally I am intentional about my health. And so now that I'm 40, you have to do certain tests and blah, blah, blah. And so I've been visiting the doctor and getting tests and stuff like that done more frequently, right? More than I have probably done just at 39, 38, 35. So I was not looking forward to this experience because I'm like, I don't want to go to the doctor, sit in the doctor's office all day. I don't want, oh my God, it was just something, child. It was something that I was not looking forward to. However, I have noticed that now the doctor's experience, the experience when visiting doctors is vastly different than it was a year, 2 years, 5 years ago. There are no more long waits. A lot of stuff is done electronically. Now, as you know, we're in the life insurance industry. I remember that if we needed medical records for a client or for someone, an applicant who was applying for life insurance, we have to have the insurance company get authorization. We have to send a fax over, request medical records, deal with the person at the front office, call her, send her flowers. Please, please, please. It's been 30 days. We just need the records, that kind of stuff. We don't have to do that anymore. So, and there was a fee for that, right? So we'd have to pay the doctor's offices for their medical records. And then we'd have to get on their good side and hope and pray that they would expeditiously send the records. Now, there is something called a client portal. After you get your test, your lab work, they upload it into the portal. Some people aren't recognizing the disruption that has taken place because doctors are going to be missing that check, right? And so now the medical assistant or whoever it was that was your job, maybe that's not your job anymore because now we're uploading the information into the portal. This is a subtle change, but it yields a big impact. So now for insurance, it's like, hey, when I tell a client I need medical records, oh, I don't know, listen, call and log into your portal. It's either there or they can upload it. So change is constantly happening. Ask yourself, where are you changing? Where are we changing? Let's talk about, now that I got you ready, I got you all nice and relaxed. I done gave you some massage oil. I got the music on. I got the incense going. Oh my goodness, it's just good. Now let's talk about changing the way you holiday. Let's talk about changing the way you holiday. Let's talk about our relationship with money, specifically during fourth quarter. Because this is a wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? It's a wonderful time to be alive. Why is that? Because as we're into fourth quarter, we are in this interesting space between, dang, I'm looking forward to next year. I may be thinking about my next year goals and aspirations and my vision boards and things I'm going to do in 2022. And also I'm looking at the stuff I said I was going to do in 2021 and I'm wondering, do I have time? Right? So you may be in that interesting space, like I'm right here. And so I want to tell you, yes, there's always time, right? So now you may be double timing to achieve those goals that you set out in the beginning of 2021. And then you may be preparing for 2022, 2023. However, oftentimes people get sidetracked because then the holidays come. And it's like, wait a minute, I stood at the beginning of fourth quarter And I made an assessment of everything that I wanted to do for 2021. I see what I did not complete. But now I got to go to this holiday party. I got to go to this company function. I said that I was going to save $10,000 in the year, but now Christmas is coming up, Kwanzaa is coming up, Thanksgiving is coming up. I got to make macaroni and cheese. And if you spending less than $100 in cheese on macaroni and cheese, it's dry, 3 times with a capital DRY. So let's think about these things. So I wanted to bring this here in October. You still got time, boo. You still have time to be intentional about the way that you achieve your goals. You still have time to be intentional about your holiday spending. You still have time to be intentional about your yeses, and you surely have time to be intentional about your nos. So first things I want you to do, this is where you got the pen and paper ready. And if you're driving, don't worry, you're going to run a tape back. You can come back to this and write it down. All I ask is that at some point you write this down and you really do the work. Okay. I want you to make a list of anticipated holiday expenses. Remember, you already looked at your 2021 goals and seen that it's October, child. You got 2 months left, 2.5 months left. So have those goals at the front of that list, on the top of the list, on the top of the paper, what goals you need to complete. And then make a list of your anticipated holiday expenses. What falls under the category of anticipated holiday expenses? It goes beyond gifts. So I'm not just talking about gifts. I'm talking about food, decor. Are you the person on the block that has all the lights and things like that? Do you change your tablescape? Do you change your front patio, your front porch? So you got to list your food, your decor, the postage. Do you mail holiday cards every year? Do you have to get holiday attire for the Christmas cards that you mail every year? How much is it going to cost you to send out 100 holiday cards? And then you have to plan ahead because the postage go up since last year. How much is it going to cost for the attire for portraits? Are you taking holiday portraits? Does your child have a birthday? My son is born on Christmas Eve. Is his birthday? Are you planning parties? Travel. Are you going to see your family? Are you flying your children in town? Are you taking a family vacation? So at the top of your list, your notebook, at the top, you are going to write your 2021 remaining goals. Because, baby, we want to keep that front and center. We want you to be able to do 2 things at one time. We want you to have your remaining 2021 goals at the top. And then we're going to make a list of your anticipated holiday expenses. You picking up what I'm putting down? Because you thought you was going to Aruba. You thought you was taking a family to a mountain cabin vacation in Tennessee. However, you said you was going to save $20,000 this year and you only got 5. So are you going to allocate the funds towards that family vacation? Or are you going to say, wait a minute, hold on, y'all. Hyacinth asked me to put my 2021 goals at the top of this list, and I'm looking at this and I'm looking at these expenses, and something got to shake. Something has to move. So we want to keep it front and center. Okay. So after you write the list, you got the goals, you got the list. After you do that, I want you to then take, let's say, a red colored pen, whatever color. You just need a different color pen than what you wrote. That's right. Planning. Financial planning is about planning and preparation, not deprivation. You picking up what I'm putting down, Renita. Thank you. So choose a different color ink. If you've been writing in pencil, use a pen. And I want you to just off the top of your head, write down a dollar amount. Trip, $15,000. Macaroni and cheese, $150. Because I used to be buying that, have that dry macaroni. I used to be spending $50 on cheese, but Hyacinth said if you're spending less than $100, it ain't good. Now I understand why. So maybe $100 macaroni and cheese. Holiday portraits, XYZ. So just write that down. After you write that down next to each item, I want you to total it up at the bottom. And after you pick your mouth up, your bottom lip up, and clutch your pearls and sit down and say, ooh, Hyacinth chose violets today. I then want you to take a different color pen and write down a logical figure. Because oftentimes our first response is emotional. Child, I want to go here. I want to buy this. Tink Tink love Christmas. And I said I was getting my baby a new go-kart for Christmas. I told her that last year and I got to get it. But baby, you still got goals to accomplish. Can you really afford to get Tink Tink a go-kart this year? So in the red ink, you wrote down that emotional dollar amount. Now I want you to gather yourself, child, get yourself together and say, all right, she didn't come to play. She didn't come to play today. I'm ready. And you change your color ink and you use logic to write down an amount, a figure next to that expense, that makes a little bit more logical sense. Okay, so we're going to start there. That's the base. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, drop a 1 in the comments. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, drop a 1 in the comments. That is the foundation. That is the foundation of preparing for your holiday spending. It is not, I have a holiday account at the credit union, so I got $2,000 in there. I'm good. I don't need to do this exercise. Does not matter if you set money aside, if you have not set money aside. This is the foundation. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down, drop a 1 in the comments. For those who are listening to audio only, you're going to hear a slight pause because I'm about to take a sip of water. Thank you. Oh, Lord. Whew. Okay, trying to sip too fast. Whew. Okay. So after you've done that, I need another sip. Hold on. Whew. Okay, I think I'm good. I done got hot and everything. That water went down the wrong pipe, and it was like, oh, wait a minute. Don't take me home yet. I still got work to do. Okay, so after you've done that, I'm back. Thank y'all for your patience, and you've witnessed me pull through. Thank you. So after you've done that, what are you going to do next? You're going to shop early. It's October. Hyacinth, my holiday season, because whatever holiday you celebrate may not start until December. You're going to shop early to save more. Why are you going to shop early to save more? First of all, if you have been tapped in and turned on, you may have heard about the supply chain issues. You may have heard about the delays in shipping. When I get off this internet with y'all, I got to call Old Navy and ask them why my package still ain't here. I got to ask them that. So if you want to save more money and not pay for expedited shipping, not pay, get it by the 24th and for an extra fee, you got to shop early. And when I say shop early, I am not talking about only gifts. I'm also talking about food. You making macaroni and cheese? I told you it's $100 for cheese. Like, you got to get it. Okay, let me start getting this cheese when it's buy one, get one free. Let me check the expiration date. And if you're making macaroni and cheese, you know that you should be buying the block cheese and not the cheese that's already shredded. If you didn't know that, I'm reminding you now. You should be buying the block cheese because it breaks down differently when you shred it. So you may be buying that now. You may be like, okay, boom, I'm getting it in November. I'm getting it in October because I'm checking the expiration date and I can set this to the side and it's going to be okay. I am not going to pay for procrastination. Back in the days when I celebrated and was engaged in the whole Christmas buying gifts and things like that, I was paying for procrastination. On Christmas Eve, I was in the mall. I had to get myself out of that trauma routine and say, baby, you don't even do this. We're not doing this anymore. So shop early, save more. You're going to plan ahead. As I said, this includes the ingredients for your holiday meals. This includes your attire. This includes your postage. Believe it or not, there are lots of sale and opportunities and coupons that are available now. How many of you check the local paper before you grocery shop? Do you check the sales ad? If you are planning and you have your goals front and center and you don't want to be the Grinch and stay up in the house and not do the things that you want to do, and you realize, okay, Hyacinth, it just take a little bit more planning. You didn't say I couldn't do it. You just said I needed to plan for it. So that's the second thing we're going to do. We're going to shop early and save more. We're not paying for procrastination this year. Say, I am not paying for procrastination this year. That is a mantra for some of you. I am not paying for procrastination this year. I am not paying for procrastination this year. I am not paying for procrastination this year. The third thing I want you to do is assess your relationships. This is a beautiful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Assess your relationships. Ooh, this is deep. Are you buying gifts for and attending functions where people that you'd rather not fellowship be at? Are you doing this just cause? Just cause this is the tradition. Just cause they said this is what I needed to do. So when you start to assess your relationships, you can hone in and say, wait a minute, where am I being emotionally blackmailed? And it is also sabotaging my budget during the process. Let me assess these relationships and really find out, do I really need to do this? Because I could buy them $100 gift and they're going to regift it. I can buy them the best gift and they're going to still talk about me like a dog. Like, assess your relationships during this time, because things must change. Doesn't make them good, doesn't make you bad. It just means that you have to take the time and say, I got my goals front and center. I understand how much is this going to cost. I understand that I'm also preparing for 2022. Let me find out. Let me disconnect from the dysfunction. Let me find out where I'm being emotionally blackmailed and it's sabotaging my budget in the process. This is a great time for boundary setting, because when you spend some time evaluating your relationships and the people in your life, you can then see clearer. So as you boundary set and assess your relationship, you'll also learn a little bit more. Like, you know what? I really like Sarah. I really, really like her. Me and my cousin, who generally don't hang out, we had lunch a few weeks ago. I was like, oh my God, this has been therapeutic for me. We really have a good connection here. So as you assess your relationships, you can start to see who you really like, what you have in common, who you need to reach out to, and where you're experiencing emotional blackmail, and then say, no, I can't do it. It's not in the budget. If you want to use the line, say, my financial advisor said I can't do it. My financial advisor said I can't participate in a gift exchange this year. Child, put it on me. They ain't gonna call me. Say whatever you need to say as you get in that space of assessing your relationships and creating boundaries, because emotional blackmail is something that we're leaving in the past. As I talked about in the beginning of this show, change is always happening. How are you changing? Are you changing the way you holiday? Are you changing the way you relate to people? Are you changing the way you relate to people? Are you changing your relationships? Are you changing how you relate? I said that like 4 times. That's for somebody. Are you changing the way that you relate to people? And as you start to assess your relationships and really think about it, what you'll find is you'll start to think about purchasing more meaningful gifts. Why is that? Because you'll really spend some time evaluating your relationships with people, what they like, things they don't like. Because I want to tell you, buying a book or a tool or something that is in alignment with someone's hobbies, someone's interests, someone's goals, buying something that is in alignment with that versus buying the latest gadget and breaking your budget is going to be received 1000% well. I like gadgets and stuff like that too. However, the gifts that really, I'm like, ooh, you see me, like you've been paying attention, are the gifts that are in alignment with my interests. The gifts that let me know that you know who I am. You're not just going and saying, here's a holiday catalog. It's $100. She worth $100 gift this year. She worth a $200 gift. Child, Hyacinth worth $1,000 gift this year, right? Like it's let's go beyond that. But you can't do that until you start assessing your relationships. So what I'm really doing is asking you to slow down and spend some time. Slow down and spend some time with yourself. When you give meaningful gifts, they're oftentimes easier on your budget. When's the last time you had made something for somebody? All right. Are your traditions keeping you trapped in lack? Someone says, I give throughout the year, not when society says I should participate. That's me. I give throughout the year. I love that. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Emotionally blackmailed. Yes. Oftentimes we are engaged in an emotional blackmail. They play on your emotions. They get you to do things because of how they made you feel. Just do it for me is a very toxic phrase. Remove that from your vocabulary and side eye anyone who says that to you. Come on, man, just do it for me. Like, hold up, wait a minute. Something a little funky going on over here. All right. Are your traditions keeping you trapped in lack? Do your beliefs benefit your current season of your life? Are your traditions keeping you trapped in lack? We just talked about Miss Rita says, I give throughout the year, not when society says I should give. Because a lot of people can't afford holiday shopping and they do it anyway because tradition says so. And child, if I show up without a gift, they're going to be talking about me. You know how it goes. She came over here to Christmas dinner or Christmas breakfast and she didn't even bring a gift. Where was Sarah's gifts? Did she bring her gift? Did you see her? This is real life. I grew up in Black families. I know how it go, right? Maybe mine was just dysfunctional. But think about that. Think about that and own yourself and say, hold on, let me pull back from that, because maybe Sarah couldn't pay for gifts this year. Maybe Sarah barely keeping the lights on. Maybe Sarah has started a new business and I respect that she started a new business, and maybe she's putting that money into marketing instead of a little trinket just so y'all won't be talking about what she got. Let me see what you got. So think about that. Are your traditions keeping you trapped in lack? Are you experiencing emotional blackmail? I shared at the start of the show that there are different seasons. I talked about the change that happens, and I want to ask you to think about the areas that you're not changing, and understand that there's a cost to being outdated. There's a cost to being outdated. There's a cost to holding on to outdated beliefs. Are you strongly attached to your beliefs? This is the perfect time for you to figure that out. Am I strongly attached to my belief? Because I want to tell you something. Beliefs are not for binding you. Beliefs should not bind you for life. A belief is for a current season. You understand what it is, and then you grow through that. Your beliefs do not have to bind you for life. Do you believe that if you don't show up and spend $1,000 on gifts, your children are not going to love you anymore? They're going to think you a bad parent? Maybe this is uncovering an issue that we need to do more parenting. June says I do Christmas in July. Maybe we need to talk about that and reprogram and say, well, you know what? Why do we do Christmas around this time? Why do we do gifts? Explore that. Explore that so that you can make sure that you're operating in a space that helps you get to the next level, and not just on that hamster wheel of lack, not just on that hamster wheel of traditions. It doesn't matter. And this goes for birthdays too. This goes for vacations. This goes for all the things that society has told us that we have to be. I love that I have a lot of people who are open-minded on this show in this comments today. Somebody, Meg says, I stopped subscribing to Christmas shopping a few years ago for exchange and celebrating people with gifts on their day. I love that, on their B-Day. I love that 1,000%. After I would shop on Christmas Eve, then I would have somebody else buy my gifts and just here, give me the total. Give me the total, wrap them up for me, and people would come up, oh, I love this, and I don't even know what I bought you. I'm just giving you the wrap gift. I had to get away from that. Now, I don't do that anymore. But everybody's not there. So it's not to say one way is wrong or right. I am sharing this because I want you to expand your mind and say, wow, I can take a stand because I have my goals front and center and I want to achieve my goals, and I don't want to be emotionally blackmailed into bankruptcy. I don't want to be emotionally blackmailed into poverty. I don't want to be emotionally blackmailed in some place that does not feel good financially for me. Okay? As you evaluate and you change your thinking, bring your children in, bring your lovers in, bring your friends in, have a conversation. I'm not asking you just to say, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. Have a conversation, and you will be surprised at the number of people that say, you know what? I appreciate that. That makes sense, child, because I regifted the gift you gave me. You always give me some stuff that's really not in tune with me, and I've been regifting that all the time. Once my gift got regifted to me, I said enough is enough. I ain't giving no more gifts to you, right? We're going to sit down and we're going to build. We're going to connect with each other. We're going to see how we can relate to each other. And oftentimes we get caught up in this space because we are stuck on tradition. So now that we're in October, we're in that sweet spot of rounding out Q3. We're into Q4. We're looking at what we've done in 2021. We're preparing to say Happy New Year. We're preparing for that. This is a perfect time for evaluation. And for those of you with children, and they may be used to you buying a whole bunch of gifts, I want to share with you something that I used to do with my children when we celebrated Christmas in that way. 4 gifts. Started this with my daughter. She's 21 now. 4 gifts. Something you want, something you need, something to do, and something to read. 4 gifts. So I'm not buying all these gifts, wrapping all these gifts. I'm not stressing myself out to get the latest and greatest this. I'm not doing it. 4 gifts. Let me say that again. Something you want, something you need, something to do, and something to read. That's 4 gifts. Because I understand not everybody is where I am. Not everybody is where the people in the comments are. And that's okay. Stand in your truth. But as you stand in your truth, think about ways that you can transition. And so maybe you have a conversation and you let your family members know early, your children know early. Hey, baby, this is what we're doing. I know it was 1,000 gifts because I wanted to take all these pictures and put them on social media. You're getting 4 this year. And maybe you have a conversation with the grown people, right? And it's like, I'm not buying no grown person no Christmas gift. Maybe you have that conversation. Figure out what works for you. The point of today's show is to ask you, does your holiday traditions need changing? Do you need to change? Do you need to change the way you holiday? Because if you want to go to the next level, you're going to have to change something. You can't always do what you've always done and get a new result. If you want to continue to do what you've always done, be okay with getting the same result. But I understand that you're here today. You're on the Hyacinth Henderson show. You're here taking notes. You're here watching the replay. You're here forwarding this and sharing this because you want change. You want something different. And so anything different is going to require you to change. That's where it starts with first. And you'll be surprised. You'll be like, oh my gosh, child, my credit card bill was significantly lower last Christmas. And that's another exercise. Pull up your statements from November and December of 2020. You really want to talk to the man or woke man in the mirror? Pull up your statements from November and December of 2020. Debit card statements, bank statements, Cash App statements, sugar daddy, sugar mama statements. Pull up those statements and see how much money came in and how much money came out. And then tape that number to your mirror. Get those washable markers and put it on your mirror so that you can see, because you got to know where you've been and assess where you are to make a plan for where you're going. All right, that's my time. Make sure you share. I also want to say thank you all so much for sharing this. The amount of people who've been calling and saying, how you hear about us? Well, somebody shared it with me and I will watch for a couple weeks, or somebody sent it to me via text message. Don't worry about if they're like the post. They're looking at the post. You may not get one like. They're looking and they want to do better and they appreciate you for sharing. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the commitment to yourself. I get up here and I talk for a quick 30-ish hot minutes. But my real wish is that you actually do the work long after I log off. All right. Stay tuned for the Understanding Money Part 2 show with Mr. Robert Henderson Jr. and James T. They're going to be on at 10:15, which means I need to get off right now. And next Saturday I won't be here. I'll be back the following Saturday. So they may move their show up. You're welcome. You are all welcome. Next Saturday I won't be live, but I will be back the following Saturday. All right. Until then, stay safe and stay sane. Peace.